All right, y'all, we got to talk about these New Jersey drones. And it's not just limited to New Jersey anymore. They're seeing them all over the world and in multiple states across the United States. Now, there's multiple theories going on as to what exactly they could be and their origins. We're going to cover each of those, so by the end of this, you're going to be filled in and know exactly what's going on up to this point. So at least for the moment, the government is acting like they have no clue as to what's going on. As always, I tend to be kind of skeptical of that. If certain officials don't know, I do believe there are some that absolutely do. But this is a statement that was given by a high-ranking Pentagon official a couple days ago.
What is happening? What can you tell us about these drones?
What I would tell you, Jennifer, is that they are being actively monitored. Installation leaders have determined so far that none of these incursions impact the base residents, the facilities, or the assets that we have on those bases. We're, of course, continuing to work with host nation authorities and our mission partners to ensure the safety of our personnel, our facilities, and equipment. The bottom line is it's something that we're going to take seriously. We're continuing to look into it, but as of right now, it's not had any significant mission impact.
All right, Night God family, I've missed you guys. It's good to be back. Do me a solid. It's been a rough go, kind of, since I've been back, but I know we can turn it around. And the best way to do that is comment. Comment, comment, comment. Emojis, I don't care. Do what you got to do. Just comment, like, and share as much as you can to get me settled into that algorithm, y'all. 2025 is going to be a big year. And hey, for those of my soldiers who stick it out to the end of this video, I got a little Easter egg for you. You're going to want to stick around for that. Only my OG triple OGs. Then, shortly after this, a congressman gave a statement claiming it was Iran. I tend not to believe this at all. I think his sources are wrong, and I don't believe these are actually Iranian craft, and I don't believe there's a mothership off the coast of the United States. Then there's some other statements that were given by a couple high-ranking military gentlemen. They claim that they're coming out of the ocean, which is a possibility. I believe that could be a high possibility. Do I believe all of them are coming from the ocean? No, I don't. I in fact believe the other possibility is that they are man-made, and the government does have control of some of them. I do believe the government has drones with the capabilities that these drones are displaying. Now, there's witnesses that are stating that when they fly over, the time on their watches and their clocks actually changes. That is an anomaly that resembles possibly an EMP. Other witnesses have stated they've even tried flying drones up near them to see exactly what they are, but before they get there, their battery runs dead and they literally fall out of the sky, or it dies before they even take off. One gentleman has even gotten in trouble, got arrested because his drone got too close, even though the feds claim they don't know exactly what they are. They still took the time to confiscate this man's drone and arrest him. So for not knowing exactly what they are, that's kind of an odd move to make. Makes me question all around whether they know what is going on or not. That goes back to, though, my theory that they are government controlled, certain ones, and that tends to be the ones with the standard FAA required lighting systems on the drone. So why do I think those are man-made? I tend to believe those are man-made because if there is in fact drones or UAPs that are showing up into our airspace, we're going to put up some sort of defense mechanism, and that would be opposing drones. Those drones, I believe, are the ones that are controlled by the military, and they were up in New Jersey. Most likely they were protecting Trump and making sure that his airspace was covered because he's obviously the incoming president. So it was a protection detail at first assigned to Trump. But obviously it's becoming much more than just those drones. And I'll show a couple of videos behind me here as I'm talking, and you can see the drones I'm speaking of. Next is the theory that yes, they are in fact aliens, and yes, they are getting bolder, and they are showing their hand. They're actually disclosing themselves to us in a roundabout way. They're not worried about us. They don't seem to be worried about our tech. They don't seem to be worried about us being a threat whatsoever. So they're essentially just disclosing themselves in a mild way. Either that or they're preparing us for some type of disclosure. These things have been spotted all over the world, from Russia to Kazakhstan to China to Japan, the United Kingdom, you name it. There has been videos of these UAPs all over, and some of them are in little swarms, others are solo, but most of the time they don't have the type of lighting that you would expect a FAA approved type human craft would have. And that's kind of my telltale at this point. They don't have the red and green glowing lights. They don't have the blinking lights. They have constant lighting or no lighting at all. It'll flash, something like that, pulse. It's never consistent with what you or I see every day as in airplanes in the sky. But what's crazy is the FBI has been sent in to investigate some of these drones, and as a result, they're getting followed home by these things, which is terrifying, absolutely terrifying. So they call this the hitchhiker's effect. It's considered a supernatural phenomenon. This phenomenon was first established during the Skinwalker Ranch era. What would happen was guys would go and investigate, or people would go to investigate Skinwalker Ranch, and they would tend to bring the supernatural happenings that took place while they were at the ranch home. And that's regardless of how far away they lived. They would often see shadow people once they got home. It's something that if you go to a haunted place or have a supernatural experience, it can tend to sometimes follow you home. The hitchhiker's effect. So some of these FBI agents are claiming this is happening to them. All right, so after this, let me know in the comments what y'all think. But like I said, I believe the drones with our lighting setup, our lighting requirements on them is military or US based drones. And why? Well, I believe that's because they're patrolling, like I said, especially over New Jersey for the base that's there and Trump. They're going to protect Trump at all costs. Bottom line is, I believe those drones are ours. But this next drone I'm going to show you guys right here, that is what I believe to be a UFO. You can see the nose in the front, the two wings, and then it's got thrusters. Well, I want you to check out this video that I stumbled across, probably a year or so ago. It instantly hit my mind when I saw these drones flying through the sky. Check it out. Now, what do y'all think? I didn't play the rest of the video. There's a lot more to it, but I can give you the gist of it. That is, I believe, a reptilian craft. Also, I wanted to show you this. I want to show you one more thing and then we'll wrap it up. Check this out. Crazy picture. That's of a drone in New Jersey. That is a UFO, no doubt about it. But it almost reminds you of something. If you look closely, it reminds you of some sort of being referenced in the Bible, an angel type being. This is too. Check this out. All right, y'all, so you see the craft behind me, right? I was doing a little research on it, and it was something called the flying wheel. And that's what Ezekiel called it. I think it was the flying wheel. But I want to read you some of the excerpt that has to do with these flying wheels and Ezekiel and his experience with God. It's wild. I was 30 years of age. I was living with the exiles on the Kabar River. On the 5th day of the 4th month, the sky opened up and I saw visions of God. Well, God's hand came to him that day. I looked. I saw an immense dust storm come from the north, an immense cloud with lightning flashing from it, a huge ball of fire glowing like bronze. Within the fire were what looked like 4 creatures, vibrant with life. Each had the form of a human being, but each also had 4 faces and 4 wings. Their legs were sturdy and straight as columns, but their feet were hooved like those of a calf and sparkled from the fire like burnished bronze. On all 4 sides under their wings they had human hands. All 4 had both faces and wings, with the wings touching one another. They turned neither one way nor the other. They went straight forward. Their faces looked like this. In front, a human face. On the right side of the face, a lion. On the left side of the face, an ox. And in the back, the face of an eagle. So much for the faces. The wings were spread out with the tips of one pair touching the creature on either side. The other pair of the wings covered its body. Each creature went straight ahead. Wherever the spirit went, they went. They didn't turn, they just went. The four creatures looked like a blazing fire, or like fiery torches. Tongues of fire shot back and forth between the creatures, and out of the fire, bolts of lightning. The creatures flashed back and forth like strikes of lightning. As I watched the four creatures, I saw something that looked like a wheel on the ground beside each of the four-faced creatures. This is what the wheels looked like. They were identical wheels, sparkling like diamonds in the sun. It looked like they were wheels within wheels, like a gyroscope. They went in any one of the four directions they faced, but straight, not veering off. The rims were immense, circled with eyes. When the living creatures went, the wheels went. When the living creatures lifted off, the wheels lifted off. Wherever the spirit went, they went, the wheels sticking right with them. For the spirit of the living creatures was in the wheels. When the creatures went, the wheels went. When the creatures stopped, the wheels stopped. When the creatures lifted off, the wheels lifted off. Because the spirit of the living creatures was within the wheels. Over the heads of the living creatures was something like a dome, shimmering like a sky full of cut glass, vaulted over their heads. Under the dome was one set of wings, extended towards the others, with another set of the wings covering their bodies. When they moved, I heard their wings. It was like the roar of a great waterfall, like the voice of a strong god, like the noise of a battlefield. When they stopped, they folded their wings. And then, as they stood with folded wings, there was a voice from above the dome over their heads. Above the dome, there was something that looked like a throne, sky blue like a sapphire, with a human-like figure towering above the throne. From what I could see, from the waist up, he looked like burnished bronze, and from the waist down, like a blazing fire. Brightness everywhere, the way a rainbow springs out of the sky on a rainy day. That's what it was like. It turned out to be the glory of God. Wow. The dome above their heads, like a vaulted dome. Were they in a craft, or did they have like a spacesuit on, or were they talking about the firmament? I don't even know. It's like, could be all of the above. That is amazing, y'all. I gotta read some more of that, no doubt about it. Not to get too in the religious stuff, but I don't know if you all have been following it, but I try to stay away from that. Look what old boy Billy Carson's going through. You know, you almost should have expected it. Going against Christians, or any religion for that matter, you shouldn't. It's very ill-advised to go against any faith at all, period, and tell them they're anything because of what they believe. It's not right. But hey, we'd never go there, you know that. All love and light here. I hope you enjoyed that. I just wanted to show you that wheel. Could these beings be of that high of spirituality? The cherubim is what they're called. Stay in the love, stay in the light, be kind to others, y'all. I am out.